So, Frank, thank you for your time. First of all, it's our first time to play Rock am Ring. Do you remember the first time you played on the big festival?
Yeah, I think so. I played at Download Festival with my old band, Million Dead, in 2004, I think it was. A long time ago. I remember walking out onto the stage, and the gap between the stage and the crowd was bigger than most of the venues that we played in at the time. And I remember just thinking, what the hell is going on here? Yeah. But it was cool. We had a good time.
Yeah. Are you the type to go on festivals in private before you were as an artist?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been to a lot of festivals. I've been playing festivals for a long time, as you've just heard. So these days, because I think this summer I'm going to be at 20 festivals. I'm not sure if I have a free weekend I'm going to go to a festival at that point, But I love festivals. I grew up going to Reading Festival in England, and that was always the one for me. I've been to Glastonbury a few times. That's a great festival. I've never been to a German festival just as a fan, but maybe one day.
Yeah, when you have to play a lot. I saw an Instagram post from you a few days, or was it yesterday? I don't know. Where you look back to the release of England Keep My Bones 14 years ago, and you said you were in a plane from Germany flying home or something, and it's quite a ride from there. What was that for a moment, and what does this England Keep My Bones record mean for you?
Oh, it was a huge record for me in my life, and I don't think I realized quite how big it was going to be when we put it out. I mean, things are going okay. It was my 4th album. Yeah, I'd been doing some press in Germany, and the morning of the release I flew to London, and there was a record store at the train station because it was a long time ago, and I bought a copy. And the person behind the till didn't know who I was, so that was good. But when we released that album, maybe I could sell 2,000 tickets in London, and by the end of that album I could do 10,000 tickets in London. So everything just went nuts with that record. And a lot of songs on that record, we're opening with a song from that record today. I shouldn't tell you that, it's a secret. But yeah, so it's a lot of people's favorite record that I've made, and I'm really, really proud of it. And the fact that I get to talk to anybody about it 14 years later, it's a teenager, it's crazy.
Yeah. I have to tell, it's my favorite album too, and I started loving your music. I have to be professional and not going to be like a fanboy.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I look. The song I most listened to you is Rivers from that album.
Oh, wow.
I love it so much.
Oh, thank you very much.
So you grew up at the river Itchen, that's right?
Yeah. Well, the two. I mean, I grew up in a lot of different places. It's a long and complicated
Wikipedia
story.
told me that.
Okay, well, always believe the internet. The village where I grew up was on a river called the River Meon, which is a very, very small river. But the River Itchen goes through Winchester. But I've lived in London since I was 18, and the River Thames, Old Father Thames as we call it. I like rivers. They make me feel good. Yeah. I love just water makes me feel good.
Yeah,
need more here.
Yeah, that's right. But the town we are coming from Cologne, this is the river, the Rhine. It's also in the lyrics, and we make kind of folk music. Your music is a mixture, but there's would you say you make folk music in one way or another?
So I grew up listening to and playing punk rock music, and the most boring conversation in the world is the argument over what punk means. And then in 2005 I started doing solo stuff, and I accidentally picked the one other word where the conversation about it is as boring. Like, who fucking cares what folk is or isn't? Like, having said that, I think that some people argue that and I don't know about in Germany, but in England they argue that it's only a real folk song if you don't know who wrote it, right? If it's a traditional, you know? Yeah. And I think that I can see that intellectually that makes sense as an argument, but it also means Bob Dylan isn't a folk singer, and it's just like, whatever, man. Like, and it clearly means something else as well. Is what I do folk music? I don't care. I'm way too deep into this, way too old now to care about any kind of genre descriptions. A lot of people get angry arguing about whether or not what I do is punk. I don't care. It wouldn't be punk of me to care. Is what I do folk? I don't know. For some people, yes. For some people, no. Whatever.
What you did, what I read was try to get a world record.
Yes.
Giving 15 gigs in 24 hours.
Yeah.
I looked in our calendar because do you know that in Cologne we have this crazy thing called Carnival?
Right.
Yeah. And I thought 15 gigs in 24 hours, that doesn't sound so much because we played 11 or 12 gigs. What was your idea of getting this? You played 15 gigs in 24 hours.
Well,
and what was the intention to do that?
Well, the first thing is it was in 15 different cities as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so it wasn't all in one place. In 2009, I played 24 shows in 24 hours, all in London. That sucked, but we did it for a music video, and we documented. We documented for the video, but we didn't officially document it. Like, we didn't talk to the world record people or anything like that. And like a bunch of people were asking me if I was going to do it again for the 10th anniversary or something, and I was like, "Fuck no." But then, because I'm just a sucker, like eventually the idea came around, and we did 15 cities, 15 shows in 24 hours. Which is the official world record now. We got it certified, which was cool. I think the thing was, like, it served a lot of purposes. It was to promote my new album, so Happy Days, but also every venue was an independent venue. Every single one, the tickets were done by an independent record store. It sort of supported, and I didn't take any, in fact, I paid to do it because I hired all the venues. So the purpose was to promote independent venues and independent record stores, both of which I care about a lot. So everybody wins, I think, is the idea. It sucked. My God, it sucked. Because it sucked when I did it in 2009, but I was a lot younger then. And it really hurt. Yeah. And my crew, when we started, we did it all in a cab. Yeah. Like a black cab, a London black cab. We had different drivers coming in. But my crew said to me at the beginning, they were like, two things. First of all, this was your idea, motherfucker. Like, don't try and blame this on anybody else. And secondly, we're doing this once, and we're never doing it again. Yeah. But we did it.
Maybe your crew should call our crew, because we play this stupid thing. We play in 6 weeks, 250 shows. Maybe so they will not argue that.
Holy fucking shit. That's a lot of shows in 6 weeks.
Yeah, it is. But after that, we need a break. So, one last question. When you have one life hack, one tip for us as an artist who has the first show in Rock am Ring, what is essential to do when you're playing a big festival?
Well, what's essential to do when you play any show, and I'm sure you know this anyway, is to connect with the audience. That's why you do it. Art is communication. If you're speaking and nobody is listening, if no one is engaging, what's the point in speaking? So your job is to engage the audience, right? At a festival with a big stage and a big crowd, that's a little bit harder to do than it is in a small room. But the thing I've learned over the years is that actually the secret is to not do anything different in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's like the way that you connect with a crowd when you're playing to 200 people is actually the same as the way you do it when you're connecting to 20,000 people. There's little things you have to paint in broader gestures. You have to speak more slowly into the microphone because the reverberations around the place are more. So if you go blah, 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 like nobody understands fucking anything you say.
I know that.
So there's little things like that. But broadly speaking, it's the same fucking thing, right? You just got to connect with your audience. You got to treat them like your friends. They're in your living room. It's your stage. It's your front room. Bring them in, make them feel welcome, make them feel part of it. And then you're doing your job.
What for wonderful last words. Frank, thank you so much for your time and have a great show.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.